Well, hello there my friends, welcome back to Scott Reed Project, day 6. We're going to build a stand. There's this strange man here. Say good morning, Ollie.
Morning, Ollie.
Mate, what a look that is. You look like Daft Punk. Okay then mate, explain to me. What are we doing?
Right, so at the end of the day we're going to have a stand that's basically ready to take the block.
Yeah.
Not finished, you'll still need powder coating. It'll still need all the block and whatnot fastening to it, but essentially we're going to have all the fabricating done and out of the way, all the dirty work done.
Yeah. So like, obviously we've got the block in my car. At the end of today then, they'll be able to see basically the whole thing finished pretty much, but then it needs powder coating, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to look stunning because it'll be sanded and ground and things, and we've got to get as much of the mill scale off as we can before it gets powder coated.
Yeah, sure.
Saves them having to sort of shot blast it or sandblast it too much. So it's going to look, it's going to look raw.
Yeah.
But when you see the bare length of steel that it starts off at, it'll look like something. It'll look pretty cool.
So first job of the day then is cutting steel.
Yeah.
We've got to measure it up. The beautiful measurements we do.
Yeah, well, I'm going to let you do that because my track record for measurements. Yeah, I'll just tell you what to
and then you're
to
going to weld it all together.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, well, I think you'll get youth welding some of it too.
Oh, I'd love to have a go at that.
Yeah.
Okay, mate, let's have a go. What's your idea for this stand then, mate?
Okay, so I've got jigs already set up for what would eventually make a nightstand or an end table.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that our block is going to fit beautifully on that dimension, on the 300 by 300. So we'll just make it a little bit taller. It's a sturdy frame. It's got lovely decorative bits of ironwork in it. Again, but it's welded frame. It's going to be, cool. It'll be just right for this, I think.
So what's your idea then, mate?
So we'll start by having like a top ring. Now you've got to excuse my drawing.
Yeah.
I say to people, I cannot draw, but I can make. So
the classic table look then.
So you got a table. Let's put another leg in it, sure. You might get a bit wobbly. And then we've got some rings that come in there, a bit of wrapping in there. Now we're going to put
those gussets we made.
Yeah, we're going to put the gussets in, but what I was thinking, and again, you'll have to get jumping on the design here maybe, but we'll put maybe put a second rail in. We don't want to make it too heavy.
No.
But put a second rail in, and that gives us a chance to have your special little doodahs in the. You're talking about having, what do you call them? Round each side, so like
logos, in the book logos, and the Scott Reed Project logo and the Merchant of Venice, and as we move on, we can just slot them in. Yeah,
so we've got a chance to actually have some sort of, shields almost really around there.
Yeah.
And we'll make them look class. It's not going to look. It's not going to look like they're added on. And then we've got the gussets we can put in. So again, they'll sort of go in somewhere like that.
So we've got to cut this steel now.
So already that's kind of looking...
It's looking amazing.
Yeah.
So we've got to cut 4 legs, the 4 parts that make up the stand, the block rest.
Yeah.
And these bits here.
Yeah.
And then it's...
Now the way the jig's set up, it'll be a lot easier rather than sort of make that as a ring.
Yeah.
To actually weld that into the frame and have it so that essentially these so the tops of the legs are they're flush.
Yeah.
So it'll be easy to do that. We'll get a better flat surface, because there's always a risk if you're making just a square frame like that. Yeah. The welds pull every time you put a bit of heat in and that sort of thing.
Is this an angle iron, this stuff here?
No. This is all solid bar. This is 20 by 20 solid bar.
Yeah. And how will the block stay in there?
So we'll put some gussets in here.
Yeah.
And we'll have some elongated holes, which just to allow for a bit of expansion, because it will change in shape over the year, throughout the year. Yeah, I mean, every time you oil it and it goes through the winter and into the summer, it will change shape. Not massively, but enough to stress.
Yeah.
Enough to stress, the fixing if it's too tight.
Yeah.
So we're going to give it a bit of wriggle room, and then we'll have some thumb screws underside.
I like
so that you
this.
can sort of bolt it in.
You see, because in my head, I always thought, you know, your block will sit here and there will be a bit of metal going up each
Yeah,
side. But it's
I don't
gonna
like
be
that.
proud, isn't it?
Yeah, I
It's
don't
lovely.
like that because you know, you've got a bit of metal that's, you know, an angle chafing on the wood.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
every time you drop that bit of wood in,
yeah.
you've only got to misalign it and you've gone and dinked
Yeah.
it. You know, that'd be heartbreaking,
I love
wouldn't
it.
it?
Yeah.
And this is going to be sturdy because what we'll do is in the bottom of the block. I'm not even going to try and draw a block because I really, you know, this is the best thing I've drawn for like
That's
months.
amazing.
I cannot draw.
It looks
you know.
amazing. Look at this on the camera, man. It's just beautiful.
We'll just make that leg a bit longer. There you go.
Yeah, I'm a tall dude, so yeah. but yeah, I love that idea, and it'll be clean lines. Won't it?
Yeah, it'll be lovely. Yeah, it will look like the block's floating on top.
Yeah, awesome.
But what we'll do actually, I mean, what you won't see, we'll try and get this on camera, but this is the bit I'm dreading. But
Yeah.
we'll set up another little jig, and in the block, turn it upside down. We'll drill into it, put, you know, blind holes, set in some studding to give it a bit of grip, and
Are we going to harm the baby?
we are, but it's going to, you know, it'll be a delicate bit of surgery.
Yeah.
And again, she won't look any different when we finish with her. So, you know, call this, we're going to, you know, like, it's not quite a boob job for her. It's, in fact, that will be the brackets
Just
down
a
the
little
side.
bit of Botox.
Yeah,
for her,
a bit of filler, yeah. So, we'll get on the lathe, we'll tap some studding, because the nice thing about using some like threaded bar or something like that is we can epoxy that into the woodwork, and it's not going to come out. It's not going to just slide back out again.
Yeah.
So we'll tap a bit of, put an internal thread on a bit of threaded bar. Sounds crazy. We'll do that on the lathe.
Yeah.
And then at least then you can put the block on a worktop. Then you haven't got thread sticking out underneath.
Yeah.
You know, and you're not going to again drop it in there and crunch your threads on the metalwork or anything like that. So when it comes to fixing it, stick it on the frame. We get your thumb bolts. They're actually called. I sent you the link to them, didn't I? Knobs, they're called. Something knobs, aren't they? We had a laugh
There's a
about
lot of
it.
knobs about.
Thumb knobs or something.
Yeah.
So we, and we'll just.
You've got to be careful when you're searching for that then online, haven't you?
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
You can get some very nefarious stuff come
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Don't do it at school, folks. The fielders might not like it.
Right then, have we got time for a brew and a fag, or we got to get on?
I think after all this drawing, and you put me in front of the camera, I think we're gonna have a coffee before we start. Actually,
Let's do it, man.
I mean, it's 10 o'clock, but
I know, we know how to live. So, Ollie, we've got that beautiful diagram. That was almost by a computer. I love that. Obviously, I said to
I
you,
hope you haven't rubbed it off. That's my Picasso, that is.
oh, no, we'd be able to sell that now. I'm a tall dude. I said to you I wanted it real comfortable height. I've spent my life almost bent double over these old vintage blocks. So we're going to cut the steel now because we want it about 1 metre. So
Yeah, so our total height is going to be 1 metre. Our block's 120, and because I'm useless at maths, I left that to you to work out. It's going to be 880, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, and I say the way the jig works is it's rather than make a ring on the bench and risk it maybe not getting quite as flat as we want it. We'll just have it so this is our finished height, and we build the frame inside the legs because the jig's good when it sits. So basically, we just got to get the cutting right now.
So 4 880 legs then.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, and that's going to start us off nice, and we start putting them in the jig.
Let's see this beautiful bit of kit in action again. I love it.
We haven't got an auto. In fact, we can pretend we have, can't we?
Yeah. We don't look about, do we? We're old school.
I keep meaning to get a bigger saw, but the thing is, this one doesn't cut anything heavy really.
No.
We don't, the thickest we cut is probably like 50 mil, which is little over twice the thickness of that.
But if it then broke, don't fix it.
No, there's no point really. And the nice thing about this is, I can wedge, I can put little angles in it, and I've got jigs that fit in the saw for cutting like things at the right place, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
With a big saw, you can't sort of play with it like that.
No. Okay then, Ollie, we've cut the 4 feet. We're now cutting. This is the last of the ring band that goes
Yeah, this
on
is
the
like
top.
the top ring. Yeah, that the block's going to sit on.
and then we'll have pretty much the skeleton to build and weld onto.
Yeah, we start filling up the jig now and clamp all the pieces in and weld them together. There's a bit of prep to do first. Actually, we've got to prep the joints before we're going to weld and things.
Settle the ends.
Yeah, we've got to put angles on them.
Are you going to let me have a go? I've never welded before.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll give you some practice first. And
oh man. Yeah. Okay, dude.
I'm not sure about those shoes though. They're gonna need a bit of a polish afterwards.
My DMs. What's wrong with them? You know these big engineering factories where they have these robots that spurt this stuff on, innit? We are the robots.
Right, so you've heard the saying, never work with friends. Do you know the real reason that is?
Why is that?
Well, this lot's been sitting on the bench now for an hour, hasn't it? We've been looking at it. We start off on one story and we trail down another, have a fag, drink some tea, have a bit more.
It would make great content, just our conversations.
Yeah.
This is beautiful what we're doing, but like you say, we're not we're quickest.
This isn't commercially viable.
Well, yeah, because as this stand, this block's going to be worth about 500,000 in matter.
I think so. Yeah.
But we got here
I'm just treating this as like an extended 2-week holiday after Easter now. I think. Right? Yeah.
You keep thinking like that. I like that thinking.
Yeah.
So we got like the ultimate DIY.
Yeah.
Do-it-yourself table.
This is it. This is flat pack butcher's box frame now, isn't it? So all you need is a welder and grinder.
What we got?
So we've got the legs. We've got the pieces to go around the top for the ring. These bits here, these aren't going to make much sense at the moment, but we're going to bend these around the jig, and they're going to be the bottom webbing, what do you want to call it, or bottom supports, decorative. These bits here, this is our second rung. I don't know if you can catch that on there, but that's our second rung. It doesn't need to be structural. We've got enough structure in here already, but it's got to look good, and this is going to hold. It's going to sort of support the base of our like little plaques or mounts we put on there. So I've gone for something lightweight. It's going for 5mm. Have it on its face like that, so it looks in keeping with the same thickness all the way through.
And of course these, I did a little bit. I'm not going to lie, but those lovely crescent moon gussets.
Yeah, we're going to give those a clean up in a bit actually, and then we'll weld those in afterwards. And these are the feet. So we haven't made these. I just send the file off to laser cutters, and they do these for us. K&R Laser in Worcester, fantastic outfit.
So now we put this all together like a big Lego kit. Yeah, they just stick together, just like there's a bit of heat involved.
I hope so. Yeah, that'll be a bit.
So, what's this like afterburner of a jet thing that we got? I know you mentioned it in
last episode, I think. So the propane tank behind the coke forge is powering this gas forge. Now these are more common in the States actually, but I couldn't do without it. I mean, some blacksmiths get a bit sniffy about having a gas forge. They think they can do everything on their coke forge, but actually it's a wonderful tool. So we've got about a foot in length here. Now I can put this bar, I can slide that through and get about a foot of heat.
Yeah.
It won't be forging heat, it won't be yellow, it will be an orange heat. That's perfect for bending.
Yeah.
I couldn't get a heat that long in my coke forge. I'd have to do 2 heats. And the lovely thing is I can pile it all up in here. It's just like an oven. So I can just put, I don't know, half a dozen bars in and just leave them ticking over and just grab them out when I need them.
Can we have a look inside there then, mate? Wow.
So there's a bit of heat in there.
And then
we'll knock it off later and put our jacket potatoes in it.
Yeah. So is that ready to go then?
Yeah.
Awesome. And would you leave that door open then, or?
No, we'll close that because it just keeps the heat in.
Yeah, sure. That is unreal. That's got some serious heat. But you're saying about traditionalists saying, oh, we shouldn't use that, but you can use it in conjunction with your traditional forge. It's the more tools you can use to help your day, surely is a better thing. If this is ideal for this, like you're saying, the length of steel it can deal with, and the heat.
Yeah, if you're doing a lot of bending around jigs, then this is fantastic. You don't, it's not always about getting it it's not as hot as you can be, because actually it's it's more useful having a long uniformed heat, so it's going to produce an even bend around. I can get it to a really good a white hot heat in the forge. All it's going to do is put a kink in that spot and not bend the rest of it. It's more useful to have a really long orange heat.
I mean, I'm still surprised in my head, being the layman, that you could bend something that thick. I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, I think we'll give it 10 minutes in there.
Yeah.
And just keep checking on it. What it will do is it will get hot on the outside, but the core will still be cold for a bit. So you just got to it's just a case of knowing when to pull it out and giving it a go.
I suppose, and you've got to wait for it to even along it. Is that right?
Yeah. We don't want to pull it out early. We don't want to end up bending it early because obviously it won't fit back in again then.
No.
We're stuffed then. So.
It's quite precise then.
Yeah.
You've got like one shot really.
Pretty much, yeah.
When you're ready. Okay, mate. Okay, then we're going to bend this first thing. Look at this red hot. Am I locked in all right for you there, Ollie?
Perfect.
This is very brutal, isn't it?
That's it. Pull it in.
Pull it?
Yep.
Wow.
Right, now if you could lock it in. Hang on, keep hold of that one.
Yeah.
If you want to get that one in like that, if you can do it.
Like that?
Yourself, yeah.
What, would take this one out?
Both of them at the same time would be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. Hold on tight.
Yeah.
Right, we don't want to end up over bending it anywhere.
Is that a perfect thing?
Nearly. So we're going to have to start hitting it. There's a bit of a gap there. It's not the end of the world. Okay, if you just let it off.
So what's that stuff on the top then, mate, here?
That's all the scale coming off.
Scale?
Yeah.
Is that... Are we actually finished there now?
It does need tweaking. Let's tweak it now while it's...
How do we do this? Do you want me to lock it down or...?
This time we're going to put the G-clamp in the middle.
Yeah.
We've got a lovely bend in the middle there, but we've just got to get these ends in a bit more. Just pull those in.
Yeah.
And then it's not too bad, we've done a good job actually, but what you can do is just get any twist out like that.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a time thing. You haven't got any time, have you? You've got to get on it, you've got to act.
With 5 kids, there's never any time.
Do you want me to hold anything, mate?
I think it should be right. I'm just going to try and get this twist out here. Right, and what we'll do, because it's not quite flat, we can get it on the anvil
And tap it flat, yeah?
and just check it, yeah, like. See, there's a couple of high spots in it.
Still got enough heat just to play with that.
I'll have to hit it hard, but it will go. It's not quite sledgehammer job. Every time you do this as well, it opens it up a little bit, so you've got to be a bit careful with it. Just look down and check it's all there. Right. I think you're right out there.
All the way in?
Yeah.
So all the way in, drop it in, can I, or have I got to keep hold?
Well, keep hold of it, but that's it, keep going. Right, wriggle it around now, and go up and down a bit, because what happens is you'll get like pockets of boiling water around the steel, and it won't cool it. Just got to keep aggravating it. Keep it in there for a bit.
Yeah.
Just maybe, just sit it in there for a little bit.
I've got to keep fettling it, or...?
No, I'll be right now, just because it will take some cooling the core of it.
Can I let this go, or do you want...
Yeah, it might just sit in the top of that. Yeah. Obviously, it's important not to. That plane going over.
Yeah. I was going to say that furnace was as hot as an F-15's afterburner, but for all you plane people out there, which I am a secret plane geek,
Yeah.
for me more an F-22 Raptor or the new F-35, you know.
I've got no clue.
No idea? No.
No.
That's like the latest, coolest aircraft going. Anyway, I'll give it away too much. I've said too much already. What are we doing?
Now we've got a bit of wastage on these, haven't we? Really, that's so that we can get the span around it.
Yeah.
A good tug. We've got to have something to hold on to.
Yeah.
There's no point in trying to be too economical with these. So we're going to cut them back so these can be welded into the
sure.
now, into the legs. And it's just a case of accurately cutting, surgically removing the bits to take off.
Surgically removing, I like that. Okay, Ollie, what are we doing here on this
Okay,
view?
right, this isn't going to make a lot of sense to some, but you know what I was saying about wastage?
Yeah.
You know, Scott was saying to me, you know, think about the planet, man. We've got to, you know, we can't be leaving that much steel on the
planet, man.
on the end of this bit of bar.
Where am I from? San Francisco in the 60s.
So, you know, we've got 2 inches left there, but
Yeah.
you know, it's not enough to clamp in the saw now.
Yeah.
Right. There is a video on YouTube. It's about an hour long, telling you how to save metal you know, rather than making a new piece. Basically, you wedge a bit behind that side, wedge a bit in that side, and there you go. That's tight. There's a bit wedged behind there as well. We can cut that off now, no bother. We've done that in what, a minute?
Yeah. That's the tip of the day. My tip of the day is to save metal is buy more of their records. Okay then, mate. These are looking amazing. Can we just see one of the work? Obviously that bar went in to that afterburner.
It's a bit of a Blue Peter moment, actually, isn't it? Where did we see this last? It was.
Yeah. Is this one we really made earlier? No, it ain't. So that was that bar in the gas forge. They saw us bend it. I've been on the grinder. That's actually expertly sanded, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Or have you had to fettle it, knowing you?
Our powder coaters, they're good to me, and I don't want to start giving them mill scaly, dirty, rusty bits of metal. So, you know, it just makes life easier for them because they can dip this in the tank, in their acid tank, and get it back to raw steel, and it'll powder coat nicely. So we just start now, as we mean to go on. Really, keep sanding, keep it clean. It'll weld nice, it'll powder coat nice. You know, we're trying to get a pro job now, aren't we?
These are prepped, ready to weld then?
Yeah. So let's hope that's picking up.
Yeah.
I've just put a chamfer on the edge of these.
Yeah.
We're not welding gas pipeline here, but you know, we need to have some sort of joint prep.
Yeah.
It's got to hold together. So that'll mean that we can weld the uprights into there. If I can grab one, we can weld the uprights in like that.
And fill that gap up with weld, and
then that gap will fill up with weld. And it means that we can clean the weld back again. We can sand it back again, and we haven't got ugly weld. Well, my welds aren't ugly anyway, but we don't want them on show, whether they're ugly or not. So we can sand that back again. There's still enough meat holding that together then.
So next step is to weld the legs on?
That's it.
After cleaning them?
Yeah, we'll clamp all this together and weld it up. So again, we'll just have to sort of eye it through. I don't tend to get too upset about what one side's doing at the moment. We'll keep it handed like this from now on. Yeah. It's a handmade product. These aren't going to be like, engineered, machined round. No. One side might be a little bit more tight than the other.
Made by human beings, mate.
That's it. And what you didn't see off camera was me getting the sledgehammer out and adjusting these to actually get these to sort of fit properly. So we'll keep on this size now. We'll get a G clamp in the middle if I can find one, and then we'll get some legs set up in it.
Yeah. Can you hear the lambs, Clarice? Oh, look, it's looking like a table.
Right.
Albeit a one-legged. Okay, Ollie's letting me loose on the power tools again. We're just going to take the burrs off these legs. Ollie. Like a machine, mate. Look at it. Many hands make Like where? Look at that, mate. Gets the job. Gets the job.
Well, it means it sits in the jig nice and tight.
Yeah. Awesome. Where are we at, mate?
Well, we've got something that looks a bit like a frame now, haven't we? It's starting to take shape. It's coming alive.
So that's the bottom. So what they're looking at here basically is the frame, and this is the top. So
Yeah.
what are we doing here, mate?
So yeah, we've got a little ramp for the ants and insects to climb on, haven't we? It's easy to do on the floor now, but we need a current path for the weld. So that'll just bridge that gap for a bit.
Just show us one of these corners then. What we doing?
You've expertly fettled an angle on all of these for the weld to bite into.
Yeah.
And as you see over here, we're just taking some steps to make sure that's all going to sit flat. And then we'll square test it, give it a bit of jiggery pokery, and then once it's all tacked together, weld it up proper.
Who doesn't love a bit of jiggery pokery in the afternoon? Okay then, Ollie, a very exciting moment. We're going to take, this is its rawest form, but it's pretty much the basis of the stand now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I know we've got bits to weld on here, but when we take this out of this jig, we've got a stand that will stand up.
Yeah, this is going to be like demoulding a new part. It's going to be quite
Go
cool.
for it.
Yeah.
Do you want me to hold it, mate, or anything?
Should be alright, just a little bit at a time, really.
Slowly, slowly, catchy monkey.
Yeah. I could just clobber it, but the thing is I'll end up like probably breaking something or napping the jig or...
We're not Neanderthal, are we? Tell you what though, it just goes to show how square that is in there.
Yeah. I think now's the time actually when we can put it on the floor, stand on it and tug.
Oh, good old classic bit of health and safety jobby, yeah?
Yeah,
let's do it.
We won't do it on the bench this
Why
time.
not? Okay then, so we pull this. I'm not going to get any dust on my shoes, am I, mate?
I hope not. They should have all cooled down now, so they should be alright.
Shall we do it? Oh!
Lovely.
Where are we putting it, mate? To you? So I just kick that out of the way?
Yeah. There you go, look how solid that is as well. You're going to be able to lift that in and out of your car though, mate?
Of course I can. Oh my God. Nah, I'm alright. That's amazing.
So, I mean, the welds, they're not that tidy at the moment. I am a qualified welder, honest, but actually, what's more important now is we fill up the gaps. 'Cause
Yeah.
we've got to sand this all flat. We've got to get all these welds ground back, get it look really seamless and tidy. And you know the crack. We've got to, you know,
Yeah.
we've got to basically just it's hot glue to metal now, isn't it? Really, like,
It's really, really cool. Really cool.
yeah. Well,
And ends up like that.
This is like the skeleton of it. Really.
It is,
We've
yeah.
Still we're gonna wrap that with a bit of forged twist, aren't we? Bit of round.
Then we got sides to go round for
Yeah.
logos.
We've got more weight to add on to it.
Oh, ace.
We've got our little gussets,
Yeah.
our rusty little gussets.
You can get cream for that, I've heard. A rusty gusset. Reminds me of my youth. Okay, so we got those.
So,
What are we doing now?
put some feet on it.
Going home?
We have another brew, don't we?
Yeah, have a brew and a fag.
Fantastic.
I've just sanded the tops. Like we said, there's a lot more for this to go, but we can actually sit the block on now and see.
Yeah, I mean, we have got a lot more grinding to do, but
It's prettiness now and fettling and all that in it.
Yeah.
But let's just see if she fits. Oh man.
I think that's going to work.
It's awesome, isn't it? A new home. It's absolutely beautiful. Just give it a stroke. Okay?
I don't want to get too attached.
No,
you know.
don't, you know.
I've just managed to pull myself away.
I know how hard it was last time, but yeah. That is a top job. And there's still more to come. But we can leave it there for today.
Yeah.
We've done enough, haven't we, dude?
Yeah.
Cheers, brother. Just look at it. Wow.